Music station this morning, 6:48. Lots of sun out there when it comes up and some of the clouds move out. So it'll be a sunny afternoon, the high 56, 45 right now. JR, Michael Rock, Larry is off. Half-price hookup coming up at 9 a.m. sharp at FUN107.com. Texas Roadhouse this week, a $50 gift certificate for $25 to the Texas Roadhouse. That's this morning at 9 at FUN107.com. So be there at 9 a.m. sharp. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about that house in Westport that was supposedly haunted. Then we talked to the nephew, and then somebody who was a neighbor said it really wasn't haunted, but people kind of thought it was.
Yes. But
there are some places around the area that are pretty spooky. And Tim Weisberg, the host of the show that we have on our sister station, WBSM, late Saturday night.
Spooky South Coast.
Yeah, Tim knows of some places. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, thanks for coming on with us this morning.
This is your big time of year, huh?
Oh, yeah, this is like Christmas for us.
Yeah, spooky South Coast. Now, what are, you have a list of the top 10 spooky areas, paranormal activity and stuff like that. What are a couple of the best ones in the area, Tim?
Well, absolutely, hands down, it's the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast in Fall River has to be number one. It's not only the most haunted spot on the South Coast, it's one of the most haunted spots in the world.
Really?
And
I did see that on the Travel Channel, actually, recently. They talked about the Lizzie Borden house as one of the number one Halloween destinations.
Now, is that from a tourist point of view or for real haunted?
I'm talking for serious activity and interaction with whatever spirits are there.
Wow.
So have you ever experienced any interaction with spirits at the Lizzie Borden house?
Oh, I've been I've been a target of theirs since I first started going there. It's thrown me up against walls. It's choked me, scratched me, pushed me downstairs. And there's something known as electronic voice phenomena, which is when you record with a tape recorder, and then when you go back and listen, you can hear voices that weren't there when you were actually listening in the room. And on that, I've had it swear at me and call me some pretty nasty names.
What about seeing anything there, Tim?
You know, I'd never seen anything until maybe a few weeks ago. I was there, and we were in the basement with some investigators, and I saw what's called a shadow person, which is where it's an outline of a human, and it looks like it's almost darker than the darkness that's behind it. And nobody quite knows what they are yet. We're not sure if they're ghosts or if they're trans-dimensional phenomena, but whatever it is, it stopped, stared at us, and then ran, and then we chased it from room to room for a while before it disappeared for good.
So what do you think that is, that ghost? I mean, are these people who have died not passed on, or what is that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I know that it's some sort of recorded energy. There's no real definition of a true ghost yet. Because we're not sure what the possibilities are and what actually causes it. But in my opinion, I think that at least what's in Lizzie Borden's house is some sort of negative energy that's attached to that location that was there long before the Bordens were killed.
Oh, so not even necessarily Lizzie Borden?
Yeah.
Or
no.
Any of the people who died that day?
Well, there's two schools of thought on that. One could be that their spirits are actually there and they're trapped by whatever this negative energy is. And then the other school of thought is that this negative energy actually pretends to be the Bordens in order to keep having people come in and talk about the murders because it feeds off that negative discussion.
Or maybe the house was haunted before Lizzie, or whoever committed the murders, and maybe that
quite
was
possible. There was actually a murder next door years before that. A relative of the Bordens on the property next door actually drowned her children in a well and then killed herself.
Holy cow!
Maybe that drove the person who killed the Bordens to do it.
You know, there's so many different factors in it. It's going to be one of the great unsolved mysteries forever. And now that we can bring in all this paranormal aspect to it, it makes the mystery even deeper.
That's fascinating, Tim. What a couple other places in the area you'd mention?
I like the Fearing Tavern in Wareham. I'm actually right outside of it right now, and it's definitely one of the coolest spots to investigate because it's over 300 years old. It's been all reconditioned to look exactly as it did in the 1690s, and in there we've been in one room and we've heard women arguing upstairs when there's no other women in the building, and we've caught on EVP voices discussing the Revolutionary War and talking about loyalty to the British Crown. So it's different because it's not one of these other haunted locations that we'll go into where there's a lot of electricity and a lot of other scientific factors that could cause haunting phenomena. Here, because it's so bare bones, it just has to be, a ghostly presence.
So you're thinking that these ghosts still think that the Revolutionary War is going on?
They may. There's a hidden room in the tavern that supposedly they hid a British soldier from the colonists in, and that seems to be a very strong spot.
Wow. And then there's one more that you were going to mention, Tim.
The Quikasham Club in Fall River, which is a place that we've investigated recently with our friends from Dartmouth Anomalies Research Team and Whaling City Ghosts, and there we use a device called the Shack Hack. It's basically a radio that allows ghosts to use radio waves to communicate. And in there, it kept telling us that its name was Marie and that it used to be a prostitute. And we actually got some pretty serious stuff coming out of that, with it, basically setting up a history for us that is unknown to the owners of the building.
Where is that located?
That's right on North Main Street in Fall River.
Okay.
So, Tim, are you like a real-life Ghostbuster?
Well, we don't like the term Ghostbuster because we can't actually do anything about the ghost. We can only try to verify that it's there and then maybe make some suggestions to you from there.
You haven't come up with the technology to actually capture those and put them in that big holding tank area?
Some people claim that they have, and a lot of people who have psychic abilities say they can just help them move on into the light, and that usually will end what's going on.
But what you do just as a hobby? Like it's not like what you do for a living.
No, basically in the paranormal field, you really can't charge for investigations because there's no real guarantee of what it is that you're investigating. Most of the time when you go into a supposedly haunted location, you can dismiss what's going on as being various different factors within the house, leaky insulation, leaky electromagnetic fields. So it would be unfair to charge people based on the fact that you're looking for something that nobody's really proven exists yet.
Well, you have a fascinating hobby, Tim, and the information you give us is just incredible. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Good luck. Continue on. Success on WBSM AM.
And a big show tomorrow night on Halloween night.
Yeah.
Oh, spooky ghost stories. We're going to just basically set the mood for the rest of the night, and after you're done with trick-or-treating, kick back, relax, and we'll make sure you can't sleep.
We'll check it out.